we're joined by, of course, si Hanibal Camua.
Yes.
To talk about these issues. Ang daming issues sa education. Oy, welcome back. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Sir Ma'am Angela. Nice to be back. Happy holidays po. Good morning.
Well, of course, happy holidays. Pero nakaka-alarm to, Hanibal, itong 7 in 10 students. Basic reading, they lack basic reading skills. How do you interpret this?
Sir, as always, no, and ito yung this is what is actually alarming, no. Every time that we talk about international assessments involving, let's say, learning outcomes, particularly for the Philippines, the result is actually alarming, no. Again, this is not surprising, particularly because we have kami sa Philippine Business for Education, we are always saying that there is an education crisis, and this is but a result, no, manifestation of the ongoing crisis, worsening crisis in Philippine education.
That's right.
So this result, sir, actually, if you're going to hihimayin natin siya, it actually connects to also, and very relevant then to the previous results na when talking about reading literacy, just early this year there's that survey on functional literacy na nilabas ang PSA. So technically, as compared, this one, it gives us a vantage view of how we are faring compared to our other Southeast Asian neighbors. And the bad news is we are at the bottom, almost at the bottom, 5th out of 6.
Yeah, Director Bal, I was taking a look at the records and yung history nitong literacy issues and yung ranking ng Philippines. It's been fluctuating for the last decade. And if you look at the last decade also, yung gap between teacher to number of students has been widening. Kasi hindi ko masasabi yung quality of teaching ang nagsasuffer dahil magagaling ang teacher natin. Ang nagiging issue is dumadami yung estudyante ng isang teacher. So kahit gaano kagaling ka pa, kung madami kang tinuturuan, siyempre may mga last 10% of a class, mahihirapan mag-cope. So how do we address this? Napaka-basic It's the ratio of teacher to students.
Tama ka dyan, Sir Angelo, no? It has been a plaguing, we've been plagued by that problem, no? Yung teacher to student learner, teacher to learner ratio, no? And then that is actually even compounded by more than the ratio of learners, teachers to learners, that is even compounded as well by yung shifting in classes because particularly lack of classrooms. So, again, we can see here na talagang, and studies would actually prove that kung malaki yung class size, hindi talaga matututukan yan ng ating mga teachers. Tama po kayo, magagaling po yung mga teachers natin. They are actually, kami nga sa PBEd, we always say our teachers are actually going above and beyond, no? With teaching our students and also all their tasks. But ultimately, the measure of this is yung learning outcomes. Kung natututo ba yung ating lahat ng ating mga mag-aaral, natututo ba sila? And in that environment wherein mataas ang learner to teacher to learner ratio, and then nagko-congest pa sila sa isang classroom, nag-shifting pa, then it's not really a conducive learning environment that would promote learning across or among all learners. So this CPLM results, among others, again, it shows us how severe the learning crisis in the Philippines is.
Well, Director, ang nakikita nilang strongest driver nitong learning difficulties natin dito sa bansa ay yung socio-economic status ng mga estudyante, no? There's a very big gap doon sa mga poor household versus yung mga may kakayahan sa pagbayad ng kanang edukasyon. So, how do we address that, specifically now that we are talking about millions or trillions of pesos, diba, na budget supposedly being given to the Department of Education?
Yeah. Tama din po kayo, Ma'am Angela, no? That is actually one of the greatest dividers, no? In terms of socio-economic status. And it's very simple. let's say for example, there are school children, there are learners that before going to school, they have to, kailangan pa nilang magtrabaho bago sila makapasok sa eskwelahan. So, in the informal economy, maglalako pa yan or magtitinda pa yan para may pambaon sila or may panggastos sila sa eskwelahan. And that also affects learning. In a poor household as well, syempre, yung mga parents may role in terms of, let's say, teaching din. Sila yung nagtuturo din sa kanilang mga anak sa bahay. Pero kung yung parents in, let's say, a poor household, is preoccupied doon sa number one, sa paghahanap ng income or nagtatrabaho, then that is also as well affected. How can this rest with the kind of, again, with the biggest budget as per history for next year? I believe, and kami sa PBEd naniniwala kami na number one, it can help the expansion of the voucher program, can actually help in a lot of ways. Number one, the expansion of the voucher program can help in terms of narrowing that gap, no, sa mga those who have and those who don't have, no. Kasi kung merong voucher program for lower grades, we also democratize the choice.
Yes.
No, pwedeng kasi yung voucher program ngayon for senior high school, merong voucher program for that. Pero wala for lower grades. Let's say for example from grades 1 to 3. It also helps if you have an expanded voucher program. It also helps in classroom congestion and teacher to learner ratio. Kasi kung merong vouchers for lower grades, yung mga mabibigyan ng vouchers, they have actually the choice to enroll in private schools.
Private schools.
Na let's say hindi masyadong congested. So that could actually help decongest yung public schools. Because without the vouchers, for lower grades, actually, we are forcing the funnel. No? If force fit mo yung mga nasa lower grades into public schools which are already congested.
Yeah.
So it can help in a lot of ways if our government, particularly with DepEd, could think na i-expand ang voucher program down to the lower grades. So I think that's a low-hanging fruit.
Right. Pero kasi, di ba, nagkakaroon din ng issue ng corruption dyan sa voucher program. But that's a different topic right now. But I would want to ask you also, Director, regarding the language barrier, na isa rin nakikita nilang divide, dito, o driver, dito sa learning differences natin sa Pilipinas. Ito na yung matagal na pinag-uusapan, pinagdedebatihan, yung issue ng mother tongue sa paggamit, di ba, sa pagtuturo sa mga estudyante. Your thoughts on that?
Well, Ma'am Angela, kami sa PBEd, we believe that, and we've spoken about this for quite some time already. We pushed for the mother tongue and we advocated for it, particularly because we believed in the model.
Yeah.
I think what happened here in the case of the Philippines is nagka-problema on the implementation. Number one, medyo sumablay yung mapping ng languages. No, nung mother tongue, kung anong mother tongue yung dapat gamitin on certain areas. Kasi let's say for example, in certain areas there was the assumption na Ilocano yung mother tongue. But then if maggagawa ng mapping, hindi pala Ilocano yung widely spoken. Nagtatagalog na pala. Nagfi-Filipino na. So doon ang nagiging problema. But we believe, kami sa PBEd naniniwala kami na when done properly, no, teaching in mother tongue based learning, no, is effective, and it has been proven effective in other countries as well. Kasi if just looking at it at, let's say, at the lower grade levels, para makaintindi siya ng isang math problem, or ang ating learner para makaintindi at makasolve ng isang math problem na sinulat mo sa English, kailangan niya munang matuto magbasa, at in this case kailangan niya matutong magbasa ng English at maintindihan ang English to solve a math problem. Same thing with if you're talking about, let's say, a science problem, because these subjects are actually taught in English without again when mother tongue was actually suspended in terms of implementation.
Alright.
So yun ang naging malaking problema, yung implementasyon ng mother tongue. But in terms of the model, kami sa PBEd, we believe that it works. So we have to revisit. I think there's a greater need to revisit mother tongue-based education.
Oh, well, surely talaga marami pa tayong dapat pag-usapan that we are having kasi education crisis. But thank you so much for your time, Director Bal Camua, Executive Director of PBEd.
Thank you very much as well, Sir Angelo and Ma'am Angela. Maraming salamat.
Right.